in a series of corruption cases, throwing the country's paralyzed political system into further disarray. They come from 3 different scandals. It's the first time a sitting Israeli prime minister has been charged with a crime.
Israel appears headed for its 3rd election in a year as Netanyahu and rival Benny Gantz failed to form a unified government. Apple is facing a deadline and customers could end up paying the price. Without a new trade deal with China, the computer giant could be hit with new tariffs of up to 10% as early as December, all on the products it makes in China. ABC's chief business correspondent Rebecca Jarvis asked Apple CEO Tim Cook if he will pull business out of China because of the uncertainties.
I don't envision Apple pulling out of markets. I mean, that doesn't seem to serve anybody, particularly the users that are there that are counting on us.
After 16 months of negotiations, there is still no trade deal with China. This is ABC News.
Do you want shoes made from nature's original luxury superfiber? Then you need new Skechers Wash-A-Wool shoes, made from premium quality wool. To start, wool wicks away moisture to help keep you dry and comfortable. It's also super flexible and highly breathable. And not only do they keep you cool and comfortable in the summer, but Skechers Wash-A-Wool shoes also regulate temperature to keep you warm and toasty in the winter. Plus, they're even washable. Discover the wonders of wool with Skechers Wash-A-Wool shoes at a Skechers store near you at Skechers.com or wherever stylish shoes are sold.
Ordering online? Just click and your purchase appears at your doorstep. But the vehicles that move your order, trucks, jets, and ships, create a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. That's why ExxonMobil and Synthetic Genomics are developing algae biofuels that can reduce emissions from all those trucks, jets, and ships by half. The upshot? A future where your deliveries are just as convenient and greener. Learn more at energyfactor.com.
The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Welcome to the Ask the Experts show with local experts in the fields of legal, health, financial, and home improvement. Enjoy being educated in such topics as personal injury law, community association law, family law, bankruptcy law, along with health show topics like pain management, men's health, and dental implants. Now, sit back and enjoy today's Ask the Experts with host Steve-O.
Hey, good afternoon. I got to tell you, we've got some major changes coming to the Ask the Expert show that start next month. We are going to be on Mondays and Thursdays from 6 to 7 p.m. every Monday, every Thursday, so you can drive home with us. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited about this. We have wanted that time. I mean, 5 to 6 is good, but we wanted 6 to 7 drive time. So make sure, starting December, I don't even know the dates, but it's the very first Monday and Thursday of the month. And today, listen, you asked us for 2 kind of shows, and we delivered. You wanted a real estate show, so we got one of the finest real estate attorneys in South Florida. And then you also asked us for a business attorney. We know we have a lot of business owners out there. We have a lot of people who are looking to going into business for the first time. Don't try to do this yourself. Trust me. So today on our show, we have, and she's going to be with us twice every month, and it's going to be on Thursdays. We've decided it will be that Thursday in the 6 to 7. It'll be, I think we're saying 6 o'clock, 6 to 6:30. Marlyn Wiener, attorney, Mrs. Wiener. You know what? I see the I. It's Wiener.
Yes, I know.
Well, how does Wein?
Probably the same way. You'd have to ask my parents why.
Can we get them on? I mean, I can't get my.
Wish I could.
But I love your name, Marlyn.
Thank you.
What a great name. So, you know, some people are tuning in for the first time, and we hope. What is your daughter's name?
The one my.
What do you mean?
Which one? I have 3 of them.
Okay.
Jennifer, Lindsay, and Allie, and I think
who's the one doing all the.
Allie is my marketing media specialist.
She lives up in New York.
She lives up in New York. She's a realtor in New York, and she's been helping me with the email blasts. And
I got to tell you, you have done such a great job for your mom. I mean, I saw today.
Yes.
I even got one. I went, wow, this is how to do it. So we're going to just let everybody know about your shows. Today is going to be your business show.
Correct.
And I'm so excited. Tell everybody, first of all, about your practice.
Okay, as we spoke on the real estate law show, my practice is pretty much a 50-50 split between real estate law and business law, and I'm also a title and closing agent. On the business law side, I represent the small to mid-sized business in starting a business, buying or selling a business.
So Home Depot, forget about it. She does not want your business.
Exactly. I'm not for Home Depot. I'm probably for the person who buys things
He's just such a nice guy.
At Home Depot.
The owner is such a nice guy.
Yes. Helping people form entities, any kind of contract they need with a vendor, an employee, partnership agreements, relationships between owners of the company, leases for their properties, those sorts of matters.
Do you ever get involved with the handbooks for new companies?
I actually have, yes. I have helped companies put together.
So much to know.
Yes, employee handbooks, very important, again, depending on the size of your company, kind of business that you're in.
What would you say to... There's always people opening up new businesses.
Yes.
All you got to do is watch Shark Tank.
Yeah.
But there's so many people that are sick and tired of working for somebody that want to start their own business. Shouldn't they come to someone like you with all your experience and sit down with you?
Not just me. I always say to people who are contemplating opening a business or buying a business that they really need to assemble a team. They need a great business attorney, they need a good accountant, and they need an insurance agent. They really need a team to start out because we're all going to play a role in getting them ready to either launch or buy their business.
Can you help them? Because, I'm seeing someone who's new to business. They don't know who to go to for insurance or an accounting, someone they can trust.
Yes, I can always make recommendations. And again, this is also an area where they should look to, friends, families, business associates, also for referrals, interview. Certainly with insurance, I'm always going to recommend people get a number of quotes. And what range of insurance they're going to need is going to depend on the type of business. Also, requirements of a landlord will dictate what kind of insurance they're going to need. But we're always going to want to get 2 to 3 quotes from an agent. But yes, I can help with recommendations. But these are, the members of the team that they're going to need to help them to get their business off the ground and make sure they're compliant when they start so that they don't get into trouble.
This is not a place to cut corners.
No. And if you get off to a good start, you're going to make your life much easier.
So let's start with a person who wants to buy a business. Mm-hmm. They need to come sit down and talk to you.
Absolutely, because just like buying real estate, buying a business, you're ultimately going to be signing a number of contracts. You're going to be spending money, probably a lot of money.
Due diligence, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Make sure these people don't have a stack of bills.
Absolutely. So, like all purchases, there's going to be a process. And some businesses, in fact, many businesses are actually listed. There's a whole industry of listing businesses for sale.
Where does someone go for that?
There actually are business brokerages.
Wow, okay.
Quite a few of them in our areas that list businesses for sale. Sometimes people know a business owner that might be selling their business. It might not be a listed business. There's sometimes accountants are a good conduit too, who have clients who are looking to maybe retire, have an exit strategy, wealth managers.
So the steps would be, come sit down with you. I'm looking to buy a business.
Right. I've identified either, through a broker or some other fashion. And either somebody's presented them with a purchase agreement or they might be coming to me to draft the purchase agreement.
Those are long, too, by the way.
They can be. At some point, we're going to be developing a purchase agreement under which we're going to lay out the terms of the deal. What am I buying? What am I paying? How am I paying for it? And the what ifs. Again, you mentioned due diligence. What am I going to be looking at basically during that period, my kind of kick the tires period? What am I examining? financial statements, equipment.
You look at all this.
I look at it and the accountant
The
looks
accountant
at
looks
it.
at
Some
it.
of it is a financial analysis, some of it things I'd be looking at, and contingencies.
How do you know if the numbers they give you are really real?
That's always a challenge. That is certainly where the accounting analysis comes in. We're going to be asking to look at a number of years of financial statements, bank statements, tax returns. Those are the core financial documents that any accountant is going to want to look at.
You could
That's
probably
a starting
structure
point.
a much better deal for them too.
Well, it's where we start. And sometimes through the due diligence analysis, the deal gets restructured. In fact, oftentimes, the price may get adjusted, the payment terms might get adjusted because we learn things about the company as we go through due diligence. Also, sometimes when we're in due diligence, the operations of the company may change. Revenue might have been X when we started our deal,
Right.
it might be Y by the time we're in due diligence. So, because a business is kind of a living being, it's not static.
I have to ask you this. I wonder all the time. Do you ever get clients who want to buy a franchise?
Yes, I do.
You can't change the wording.
It's
in their agreements, can you?
it's very difficult because part of the franchise is to be delivering something that can be repeated from franchise owner to franchise owner. And so if a franchisor individualizes for franchisees, you've kind of lost that. So their basic set of documents doesn't get tinkered with too much. There are certain terms that can be unique to a particular franchisee. Some geographic radius where you can operate in and where other franchisees cannot operate in. Very important for franchisees.
You like restaurant franchises?
It's not particularly what I like. It's
But
what
you see businesses
I see businesses
go
and
up and come down.
yes, and a lot of there are some franchisors in the restaurant space that are very, very successful, have tremendous track records, and they also require franchisees to have a very strong net worth to even be involved in their game. Example would be Five Guys or Panera's. Very, very strong operators. You've got to be a strong buyer to become one of their franchisees.
Wow.
But their reputation, kind of speaks
I've
for
been
themselves.
thinking about doing a franchise and have the word chick in it somewhere. No one's ever done that before. And I just imagine lines of parts. That's the most
Everybody
successful.
loves chicken.
Wow, Chick-fil-A is just
Yes.
been amazing.
Yeah.
So now, my other question, and this is a personal question too, for someone who wants to start a franchise, first of all, they think their business is great. That's why they want to start franchising. That's not cheap to do, is it?
It's not cheap. It's a complicated
Must be
process.
a lot of work involved.
Well, there's a lot of legal and financial work that goes into it. I don't particularly do that kind of work. I have very good colleagues that I refer to when somebody comes to me who wants to actually be
Start a franchise.
Yeah, be the franchisor. But critical to being a franchisor is you're required to make very important legal and financial disclosures. You've got to do it right, because if you don't do it right, you can get sued because you didn't make appropriate disclosures to your franchisees. And you also have to be able to deliver to your franchisees what you're promising them, whatever that management support is, that training, collective advertising. You're just not selling a name.
I
You're
got to tell you
delivering.
this story because this happened to me. I had this incredible business. No one was doing it. It was so hot, and I wanted to franchise it. At the time, it was like $50,000 to put it together through a lawyer. So thinking I'm smarter, I can't put a franchise together. So I put a package together. And I got to tell you, I sold 2 of them right away. And, of course, I was going to get a percentage of their business. Boy, did I get taken advantage of. You know what they did? They said, because now they know how to buy the merchandise, which was the big secret. We don't need me anymore.
Correct.
And they said, we're going to sue you for non-performance. What is non-performance? It can mean anything. So I didn't want to go through all the legal hassles, so I settled.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem. I'm telling you, if you think you have a great idea, and you do,
And you didn't protect it.
you've got to protect yourself. And I didn't think, I mean, and this whole thing is getting back to, you want to try to save a little money, maybe not get an attorney. It will definitely cost you in the long run.
Yes. And especially the situation that you're describing, you're done.
Yeah.
Once you've given
I mean,
that,
I got some money out of it, big deal.
but you didn't get the opportunity to protect your concept, protect your idea.
Hey, we got to go to break. That's a fast 15 minutes. We're going to go to break. Give everybody your phone number.
Oh, sure. 561-443-7124.
And we got to give them your website.
www.mwfloridalaw.com.
We'll be right back.
The law firm of Marlyn Wiener, PA, is a small, focused South Florida law firm delivering high-quality legal services in a personal way. Her firm concentrates on real estate law, business transaction, and acting as a title and closing agent. Attorney Wiener combines over 30 years of solid real estate and business law expertise with understanding and compassion for her clients' needs. Attorney Marlyn Wiener works with homeowners and local and foreign real estate investors who are buying and selling Florida real estate. She assists with deed transfers, residential and commercial sales and leases, title insurance, first-time home buying, and loan closings. Whether you are buying or selling residential or commercial real estate, you need sound legal advice. The law office of Marlyn Wiener, PA, can help. To schedule a consultation, please call 561-443-7124.
Know what I mean?
I know. And we're back. We're with attorney Marlyn Wiener. And she not only, we're talking business law today, but she also handles real estate. And the great thing about this show is you can always trust the people that are on this show. Trust is so important when you're hiring an attorney. And I'm telling you, you have offices in Hollywood and Boca. Is that correct?
Aventura and Boca.
Aventura and Boca. Wow, that's, so you got
A lot
the
of
Miami
miles,
people.
a lot of mileage.
You got the Boca. But you know what? I'm telling you, it doesn't matter. You could be in Tequesto, wherever.
Right.
Write this number down, because you know what? You never know. You never know when you're going to need a good, trustworthy business attorney or real estate attorney, and she knows her stuff. Give everybody your phone number.
561-443-7124.
And the great thing is, you can always go to her website and you can watch the show, because we do video streaming right now. Our show is video streaming right now, and you can actually go watch this show. You'll probably have this one up, I'm sure, next week sometime. We're talking business today, and I've got so many questions that I'm thinking, because I consider myself a business person, but there's a lot of people out there thinking about opening their own business. How do you feel about entrepreneurs?
The greatest.
It's amazing.
I feel I'm an entrepreneur.
That's right, you are.
I'm a small
That's
business
right.
owner, so I feel that I relate very well to my clients who are small business owners, and that we're all kind of in it together.
Yeah.
So we share the same concerns, even though I'm their lawyer. So
There's so much to know.
yes.
Even like people who run for board members at their associations, it's like running a big business.
I served for many years on board in my community,
Good
and
for you.
I have to tell you, I learned a tremendous amount.
It's
I
like
really
running
did.
a big business.
I learned a lot.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like you're not an expert in all fields, so you bring people in for the team.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
it's important. And I'm sure you had accountants and you had insurance people.
We had engineers, we had accountants, we had architects, and everybody brought their expertise. And we learned from each other, and it's for the greater good in that case of our community. And as I said, it was a great learning experience for me.
So walk people through the steps who are going to be opening up a business. You got to get a tax ID.
Well, back up even one step, Steve. Very important is for whoever is going to be opening up a business or buying a business, they've got to form an entity. We don't ever want somebody operating as what we call a proprietorship in their individual name, okay? Because we're trying to protect ourselves, asset protection. We don't want to risk our home, our investment accounts, our other properties, our other businesses from claims of creditors or lawsuits.
So this is the first step.
First step really is forming an entity.
Which is?
Which is typically it's going to be a choice between a limited liability company, we call them an LLC, a subchapter S corporation, or a classic C corporation.
You sit down with them.
Yes, I
and
sit.
Explain to them what each is.
Explain to them which each is. I also say I want the input from their accountant to make the best choice for that particular client and their business, taking into account a number of factors. The type of business they're going to operate, who they are in terms of their citizenship, if they're going to have partners, citizenship of their partners, are they going to be raising capital now or down the road? Because different entities are better equipped for certain of their current needs and their future needs. So,
do you help someone put a package together? Because every night I watch Shark Tank. I learn more from that. It's real. You've got people who know how to invest, what not to invest in. So, do you help people to start their business? I just give you an example. My sister in Dallas tried to start her own business, baking.
Okay.
And she grew the business. Neiman Marcus bought her brownies, but she was making them out of her house. She got shut down.
Yeah.
She cut out the attorney
right.
to save money. Not that her husband's
right.
a big doctor, but that little money she thought she was saving by doing it herself shut her down.
Yeah. Well, and she, for example, was in a business that's regulated.
Right, exactly.
Okay, all right. So that's also part of the process. Entity formation.
But she didn't know that, though.
She didn't know that. Exactly. She didn't know that. Okay. And which businesses are regulated is going to be a state-by-state analysis. What might be regulated in Florida, maybe in Texas might not. We're dealing with Florida. So you're going to set up your entity. You're going to get a tax ID number because you're going to need it to file taxes. You're going to need it to open a bank account. But if you're in a business that is regulated, you're going to need to be licensed. Okay, so for example, you mentioned restaurants before. Restaurants are regulated. They need to be licensed. You can't operate the restaurant out of your backyard.
Right.
Okay. It has to be out of
You got the health department.
Exactly. It has to be out of a premises that is zoned for a restaurant. So, there's a level of investigation before you even get involved. Finding a location is critical, and it's not just a location from, we always say location, from a successful marketing approach, but you can't just put a restaurant on any particular corner, okay? It has to be zoned.
In Boca, it's Dixie and Glades.
Mm-hmm.
It has been so many restaurants. In fact, Dwayne Wade
I know
his name
exactly
on it.
the location.
And it's always a different barbecue place.
I know.
Do you think, because you've been doing this for a long, there's some places that I don't care what you put there.
I know.
It's not going to work.
Sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's
a busy street.
It's a busy street, but sometimes you get a location and it just doesn't click. Yet I have seen locations also that have had a sad, sad history. And one day,
the location. Yes.
And one day the right operator gets in there and it does become great.
So it's not there's someone could go in there.
Sometimes
Look how many restaurants have been in that corner.
I know, but I do. There are some of those that I agree with you. It seems like there's a black cloud, but I do also know other locations that it was sad, and then one day, the right one came in.
What does someone say about its location?
Well, I still think it matters. It matters with a lot of businesses that, what happens is if you're in the wrong spot, particularly in restaurant or retail, you can't advertise your way out of a bad location. And that's not legal advice. That's unfortunately just reality. But
it really does make sense.
Yeah,
Because I've always been in the retail business, and people say that's the hardest business going to. No, the restaurant business is the hardest business.
It's really tough, and they have the highest failure rate in the first year. Very, very challenging. I mean, people are tremendously successful.
Delray Atlantic Avenue?
Yes.
You can see all kind of restaurants. Mm-hmm. There's 87 restaurants in that area. Because, they're off on these little streets.
Yeah.
Who would have thought 87 restaurants? But a friend of mine has a restaurant in Delray, 3rd and 3rd. Mm-hmm. That's the name of his restaurant. Doesn't even have a sign up. What do we need a sign? It's 3rd and 3rd.
Right.
Does so well.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought a restaurant would do well with no sign up?
Well, it's a very powerful location.
Yeah.
Very powerful location.
There's so much you can do to keep people from making mistakes going into business.
Listen,
I'm bragging on you.
Well, we try, and you only, new clients get the benefit of what I've learned with existing
That's
clients.
What makes franchises so good.
Exactly.
They've made all the mistakes.
Exactly. My father used to say, we don't learn from our successes, we learn from our mistakes.
Oh, is that true?
But we do. Okay, and that body of knowledge, stays with you. And so yes. There's a lot that I can share with the clients, and we look to avoid the problems.
Can you give us a real quick 1 minute how you started off? You have got an incredible story from where you were when you started to where you are now.
Really?
You got about a minute and a half.
Okay. Quickly, I went to law school in Philadelphia. I went to University of Pennsylvania Law School. I practiced law in Philadelphia for about 27 years. And moved to Florida in 2005.
Started a new practice. New bar exam.
Not easy to do. Not easy at a ripe old age. Took another bar exam. Started again in Florida, but in my same field. Always been a real estate and business transactional attorney. But it was, and Florida law is kind of unique. And
but you had your clientele. You had to build up a clientele.
Started with at a zero. But built it one client at a time, just doing good work for my clients, dedicated to them, and you just roll your sleeves up and work at it.
That's what you did.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask my favorite question: why should I hire you?
Because I'm experienced, hardworking, honest, and very devoted to helping my clients achieve their goals, helping them avoid, the pitfalls, and helping them have success.
Give everybody, if you're thinking about a new business, or maybe you have a business now that, you just need to see if you're going in the right direction, I want you to give Marlyn a call tomorrow. Give him your phone number.
Sure, 561-443-7124.
You can feel in her voice she is dedicated. You can, I feel like you're trustworthy, but I know how much you care about your clients, and that's so important. And it's kind of a rarity nowadays. Some people just feel like they're a number, but I am so glad we have you. You'll be back with us next month. I'll be giving you dates and times, but go to your website.
Sure, www.mwfloridalaw.com. You can contact me on the website, and even if you just have some questions you'd like me to talk about in next month's shows, send me an email that way, and I'm happy to put it in my Talk with Steve.
Thank you so much. We are so blessed to have you as part of our show. Hey, when we come back, we've got our Terrace Communities in Tequesta, our assisted living show, coming up next.
The law firm of Marlyn Wiener, PA, is a small, focused South Florida law firm delivering high-quality legal services in a personal way. Her firm concentrates on real estate law, business transaction, and acting as a title and closing agent. Attorney Wiener combines over 30 years of solid real estate and business law expertise with understanding and compassion for her clients' needs. Attorney Marlyn Wiener works with homeowners and local and foreign real estate investors who are buying and selling Florida real estate. She assists with deed transfers, residential and commercial sales and leases, title insurance, first-time home buying, and loan closings. Whether you are buying or selling residential or commercial real estate, you need sound legal advice. The law office of Marlyn Wiener, PA, can help. To schedule a consultation, please call 561-443-7124.
As part of an award-winning family of senior communities, Tequesta Terrace is the premier choice